What's up, everybody? It's Brian Garcia here with Triggered Wrestling. We're going to be talking about WWE Monday Night Raw, which is leading into Survivor Series War Games. So Raw is war. We're also going to be talking about AEW and who attacked MJF. So stay tuned for all that and more on this episode of Triggered Wrestling.
Triggered Wrestling is so awesome all the way around. That gets me triggered.
Ooh, okay, well, let's go with the bad trigger right now.
See, I'm a fan of all of it.
Will force you to watch Triggered Wrestling.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Adrian? How are you doing? I know you didn't get to watch Monday Night Raw live with me because you were busy with distance nerding Phil and the Macho Verse over there. Essentially, you guys interviewed a cosplayer and also did a quick review about Crown Jewel, right?
Yes, man. It was actually pretty cool. I didn't know of this guy before the interview, and best believe I'm a fan of him. He's doing his thing over there. He says his cosplay as Macho Man, a lot of versions of Macho Man. He did Macha Man at one point.
Hold on a second. Time out. So you said Matcha Man, like the tea?
Yeah, matcha, like the tea. Yeah, like he does like cross playing. Yeah, he does a bunch of those as well. His wife is actually the one that makes most of the costumes for him. But yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. He has a TikTok as well, and Instagram. He has a whole crew of people as well that meet up at cons and events and just go dressed up as these wrestlers. Macho Man. He told me he has somebody that does Peter Maivia, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Triple H.
He did say for Halloween he was Macho Juice, which was like a cosplay between Beetlejuice and Macho Man. I did see that.
Yes.
So you guys need to check him out on Instagram and all the social medias at the Machoverse, and go listen to that interview on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere podcasts are with Distance Nerding.
Yeah, we also did a quick little review of Crown Jewel. I don't know if you want to get into it or if you just want to skip it, but I don't care. It's
we could skip it. I mean, I know it's a pay-per-view and it's PLE. I don't think we need to talk about it right now. But what? If you guys want to hear what Adrian has to say about it, go listen to that Distance Learning podcast. Go show them the love, and in the comments, let them know that Triggered Wrestling sent you over there.
Yup. And your boy brought that triggered energy because that PLE was mid. Predictable as fuck. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it, but it was mid.
So I just want to say that I could be mistaken, but I feel like I won, right?
Oh, man, that bullshit.
So we just finished watching AEW Dynamite, so let's go into it. Let's just raw dog it how we usually do here. I was really upset when this card was announced. It was like it wasn't even a mid. It was a card full of jobbers, nothing to do with the storyline. It was shit. What was announced previously. And it pretty much was shit for me. I didn't like anything. There was nothing in here that I liked, minus the one thing I knew I was going to like, which was where Strickland and Penta Cero Miedo. Adrian, is there anything you want to say about that first?
No, I mean, that's your opinion. You're free to talk about it. I know you triggered a lot of fans on social media, which you're doing your job, and I mean, that's what we're here to do. We're here to speak our minds about wrestling, right?
Exactly. Like, to me, like, I understand the storyline wise as to why Daniel Garcia got the title shot. He feels he needed it and deserved it. He requested the title shot. MJF gave it to him. I understand that. He's a fucking jobber. Keith Lee, people say he's been injured. I don't think he was injured. I just think he was on TV. Fucking jobber. Because he's been losing quite frequently, right?
No, he's actually been on a winning streak.
But that's the thing. It doesn't count. It doesn't count if it's on Ring of Honor. Nobody sees. I just exposed myself. But either way, he's never on TV. Was he injured? I know he had health problems previously, like 2 years ago, but you can't keep having that excuse now as to why he hasn't been on TV for 4 months. Last time I remember him on TV was when he was Orange Cassidy's mystery partner with Hijo del Vikingo. That's the last time I remember him.
Bruh. Keith Lee was on November 4th at episode of Collision. The week before was on Collision. Then the week before was at Wrestle Dream. Then the week before was at Collision.
Hold on a second. He was on Wrestle Dream? Dude, I watched that.
Yes, he was.
We're doing what? I don't remember him being on there.
He was on the pre-show.
Oh, no, mama. Bro, stop.
This is what I'm saying, bro. The marks like to bark and complain, but they don't watch the shows. He's been on 4 Collisions back to back.
We talk about Collision. How is he never mentioned on any of those?
We've only talked about Collision maybe once or twice, kind of like how we do SmackDown. We don't really watch those.
So we do watch them, we just don't talk about them.
But yeah, he's been on TV. I mean, just because I don't watch SmackDown, I'm not going to sit here and bark, oh, where the hell is Bobby Lashley? I have not seen him on my
That's
TV.
That's completely different than Keith Lee, bro.
Obviously, because I'm not tuning in, I'm not seeing him, right?
First of all, I watched Collision and I did not see Keith Lee.
Well, I'm going to tell you the dates. November 4th.
Okay, so this is Saturday.
September 14th.
Okay, so see, that's a big gap. I didn't see him all October. So September to now, I mean, that's a big gap.
And then Wrestle Dream, and then the Wrestle Dream, and then the week before Wrestle Dream, then he was on Rampage that following.
Okay, but regardless, so he was gone technically, right? Saturday. See, and then Saturday, what was it? It was a pretty badly booked Collision too, and I went to Disney on Ice. That's what happened.
That's what.
Yep. See, now it's all making sense. But either way, Keith Lee gone, just shows up for a Collision, gets this title shot, and it's Keith Lee. I kind of knew he was gonna lose here, but I just feel like this whole card was just so put together so randomly.
I mean, Samoa Joe's a fighting champion. You're never gonna see me complain about fighting champions. But I'm glad we started with AEW Dynamite.
All right, so let's start off with the way the show starts here. Adrian, how did the show start off?
So it starts again with MJF. It didn't start with Orange Cassidy. It starts with MJF delivering a promo, an interview, I should say, basically saying that he is the fighting champion. Daniel Garcia walks in and says that, hey, Garcia, I chose you because you are a true champion. And what am I going to get tonight? Am I going to get Daniel Garcia, the sports entertainer, or Daniel Garcia, the wrestler? Because Daniel Garcia is a wrestler at the end of the day. Adam Cole gives him a call and tells MJF to consider Samoa Joe's offer for being his tag team partner against the Asboys at Collision. MJF still off about that, but then Roddy Strong comes in and MJF just fucking ignores him and walks away. But then Roddy Strong looks at the camera and says that he's going to remind us what legend he is. I don't know what he means by that. Do you?
No idea.
Yeah, I didn't watch NXT or his Ring of Honor days, so I wouldn't know. But I mean, the man does have a resume, but I just don't know that resume. I haven't been following him that long.
Yeah, but we do get this match. We get Daniel Garcia in the hips of death versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I still don't understand the whole Daniel Garcia dancing and then the what's the team? Daddy Magic and Angelo Parker.
They're sports entertainers.
Yeah,
you don't supposed to get it. The marks bark about entertainers.
See, I understand that part, but how come they're trying to stop him dancing?
Because at this point, Daniel Garcia, as I said in the promo that MJF delivered earlier tonight, are you the sports entertainer or are you the wrestler? Because wrestlers don't do that entertainer shit. That's
so stupid. Well, he does try to get his hip thrust in and they stop him. So at the end of the match, Daniel Garcia has MJF in a submission hold, and then MJF literally just grabs his arm and then the other guy flops over and then he gets him with the arm bar.
Yep. In a well-delivered match. I thought it was going to be a little longer. I think we ran 12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was still a great match. Obviously, MJF put Daniel Garcia over. After the match, MJF tried to shake his hand. Angelo Parker and Daddy Magic pushed him back twice because they didn't want to be seen with MJF. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but hey, if this was WWE, we would have seen Cole Hand, Angelo Parker, and Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia attack MJF. But I'm glad this is in WWE.
No. So is this essentially Daniel Garcia? He's going to turn face here. He's going to start feuding with this fucking jobber tag team, bro? Stop.
I don't think I think they turned face once Jericho kicked him out or Jericho did the whole, I'm leaving you guys.
But this part where they didn't want him to shake hands, they still pull him away and they leave together, right? But he still tried to shake their hand.
They're still traumatized about the whole Jericho leaving them and then stabbing them in the back, and Sammy Guevara did the same thing. I think it's just...
How do you know they're traumatized?
It just looks like it, man.
Ram, bro.
But like I said, hey, at least they didn't attack MJ after a match like they do in other shows. So I'm happy for that.
Got it. Well, after that, we get a promo video from Mark Briscoe about his match with Jay White. He's ready to whoop some ass, and that's the main event for tonight. And then after that, we get Darby Allin and Sting versus the Outrunners. And the Outrunners, to me, just have a really great look because I'm a big fan of when tag teams dress the same.
Yeah.
And the Beverly Brothers from back in the 90s is that's what this team reminds me of to the T, but they're jobbers. And Tony Khan needs to sign these guys and actually have them on the roster, but they get squashed here.
Did you just see that dude with the mullet? He had literally a Terry bald spot on top of his dome, bro. And Terry meaning AKA Hulk Hogan. That dude needs to put a bandana over his head.
Yeah, he does, bro. But they have a weird, funny look to them, and I like seeing them on my TV screen.
They've been in Collision a few times, and they also did the job, but yeah, they're pretty funny.
Yeah. And then we get a sit down with Tony Schiavone as he moderates the contract signed between Hikaru Shida and Tony Storm, fully in black and white here. Adrian, so this is where contract signings usually end up getting in a fight, but that didn't happen here, huh?
No, it did not, because I like when they do an unpredictability, in other shows it's already a predictable there's already a match going to be set up after the contract signing. And I like it right here. Just a standoff, just a face-off is cool. Get your lines in. No more than 5 minutes. Boom, get to the point. Bam, bam, bam. Draw your key points. Talk what you want to talk about. And then boom, keep it moving. I like it. Simple. Gave every single detail of the feud. Bam, let's go.
And straight after this promo, after the sit down, we get the match that is just so random that it has no reason to be on this show, except for the fact that Tony Khan just likes putting dream matches together. And just from knowing who these two wrestlers are, you know it's going to be a great match. And it was. Penta de Cero Miedo versus Shane Strickland. You already knew this match was predictable as fuck. There's no way Shane Strickland's going to lose days away, a week away from fighting Hangman Page, because it would just ruin the entire story. So you knew he was going to win.
Yep. It's a tune-up match, bro. Have you ever heard of tune-up matches before the big event, before the pay-per-view?
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying, you're talking about stories, but when I do the same thing to you guys, you WWE Mark, it's a tune-up match. You never heard of tune-up matches?
Hey, I'm just saying it's a tune-up match, but it was a good match is what I'm trying to say. He actually struggled to beat Penta de Cero Miedo. So is this a tune-up match? Probably not. What bothers me is that Penta de Cero Miedo, amongst other Mexican wrestlers, luchadors out there, are just booked to lose so much, and it infuriates me.
Oh, talk about it, because we've seen this in other shows too. We've seen this on other shows.
It's like the loser world order of AEW, bro. It's like Gravity, fucking Dralistico. Bro, Dralistico has a worse record than Brandon Cutler in AEW, dude.
Does he have a worse record than Miz?
Miz actually got a win, bro. Dralistico has 0 and like 5.
Like 500-1 this year?
Hey, bro, that one win is enough to be
against Tozawa?
No, he did beat Tozawa, but he also just won on Monday, which we'll get into later. So technically, that's 2 wins, and that's two more than Dralistico has, bro.
A random match.
Anyways, we'll talk about it later. But either way, I'm just tired of these luchadors being booked to lose, dude. Like, goddamn, Tony Khan, you don't like the Hispanics or what?
Hey, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, bro. A fucking YouTuber beat a legend over the weekend, too? Damn, talk about that one, Brian. We got time.
Hey, bro, that one was a good one. Logan Paul, the future of the business. Rey Mysterio putting over young talent. I'm okay with that one. I'm not okay with this one. I mean, I'm okay. So let me rephrase that. I like Swerve Strickland, but he was booked to job quite a bit, and now he's finally getting a good push. But he would be losing every feud. Like, he literally just lost against Darby Allin and Sting.
Miz?
Yeah.
Oh, so let me get this straight. You bark when it's AEW and you're quiet when it's WWE, right?
No, you're completely misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm saying I like these two wrestlers. I'm just upset that they were booked to lose feuds frequently.
Okay, I'll bring the same questions later on the show.
I'm also upset that they booked The Miz to lose a lot of feuds, but mostly in AEW because these are Latino luchadors. Penta's an original. He's been there from the beginning, bro. They treat him like he's nothing.
He's been tag champion. He was trios champion. What do you mean like nothing, bro?
How long ago was that, bro?
So
yes, Rey Fenix was just a champion. He just became champion because he wasn't supposed to be champion. He was supposed to lose to Jon Moxley.
Okay, there you go. He wasn't supposed to be champion, so you're mad that he got rid of the title because he wasn't supposed to be champ?
I'm just saying, like, then you should give these people actually fucking chances that are originals, dude, instead of signing other people.
Okay.
Anyways, Shane Strickland wins with the swerve stomp. It was a good match.
And guess what happens after the match? The heels came down and attacked Penta. Oh, no, wait. Because that doesn't happen in AEW, right? It does not.
But they did. Swerve was trying to take Penta's mask off, and then Hangman and Page came up.
Oh, I didn't see the Mogul Embassy out there. Did you?
No, they weren't out there, but he was out there by himself.
Oh, okay.
It's because if Tony Khan would actually bring everybody into their shows, they would have been there, but he only brings in the people that are needed. Anyways, moving on. Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega are interviewed by Renee Paquette. And Adrian, this part kind of triggered me, so I'm going to let you explain it.
Oh, I know why it triggered. It kind of upset me too, but then in a way I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. I see why Tony Khan is cooking right now. Jericho and Omega pretty much put the Don Callis family on notice, says that they're going to come out victorious because they have someone like Paul White and Kota Ibushi by their side in the 4-on-4 match coming up. But then the Young Bucks come in and they seem a little jealousy that Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho are hanging out together. And then, obviously the Young Bucks try to put themselves over. Jericho says no. know it was all four of us that created All Elite Wrestling, not just you three. But yeah, Jericho said he's here to stay. And obviously the Young Bucks get a little butthurt. Long story short, Kenny Omega calls them whiny, CC little children. Basically what everybody's been saying online. And the Young Bucks are like, oh wow, we haven't heard that before. And that's what they are. That's what I said last week. They seem kind of annoying now. And they kind of are. And I'm sure that a lot of fans feel that way, whether you're an AEW fan or anti-AEW fan. But we're going to get that match at Full Gear. And we got informed that match is going to be for the number one contender spot. So whoever wins is going to go off against the tag team champions, whoever they are, whether it's Ricky Starks, Big Bill, or somebody else. But if the Bucks win, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho can no longer team together. Stipulation, great match, cool, set it up, let's go.
So the part that triggered me, Adrian, how many times have we seen the Elite break up and get back together and break up and get back together again? Like from New Japan till now.
Like twice?
Wait,
hold on. Before you want me to answer, before you answer, are you just doing AEW or all together? Because if you're gonna open that Pandora's box and say, oh, we're gonna do the story from way beyond, I can do the same thing in other shows.
Okay. So let me tell you this. The only reason I say the Elite, and I'm including New Japan, is because it's these three people. Like...
Oh, just Kenny Omega, Matt, and Nick Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, probably like twice, 3 times, maybe less?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 times, I would say. And we literally just saw them get back together, I want to say, last year at Blood and Guts, or one of those. Can't remember which one. It was one of those where it was Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, right? When they finally got the band back together. And now they're breaking up again. Like, we literally seen this at least twice in the 4 years of AEW.
Yeah, I think we have. So let me get this straight. You hate repetitive storylines, right? Please tell me you hate repetitive storylines.
So
please tell me.
Let me explain
please
to you.
Me.
This is not...
Defend this, please.
There's a difference between repetitive storylines with different people and repetitive storylines with the same people. This is the same people.
Huh?
Okay, in New Japan, do you not remember this storyline happened with Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks?
Okay. Yes.
It did.
Yes, I remember that.
Okay.
We're just talking about AEW right now, right?
I know, but I'm just saying.
Let's just talk about AEW right now. Let's just talk about AEW right now, because not a lot of people know about that, and we don't want to get cooked in the comments section. Oh, we got to know everything about wrestling.
Stop, bro. That's one person that we know. But regardless, right? What I'm saying is we've seen this quite frequently.
Yeah. Repetitive storylines, that I hate. And I have expressed my frustration on repetitive storylines. And I'm sure you will once we get to that point.
It's just so repetitive. It's the same shit. And can you guys stop fucking working with each other? You guys have a roster of like, at this point, 200 wrestlers. Find something else. The story doesn't have to revolve around the Elite and Chris Jericho all the time.
Yes. You are giving me great fucking things to say. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, I know this is going to fucking turn around on me on the next...
I knew you were going to cook yourself.
Bro,
that's why I wanted to go start with Dynamite.
Okay. Regardless, is that this is still 4 years later. But regardless, I will defend myself when it comes to WWE Raw with what I can, because they also are quite repetitive about certain things as well. Then we get the meat slapping match. Oh, wait, sorry. Before we get back to the meat slapping match, we briefly talked about that number one contendership spot that the Young Bucks won at Wrestle Dream that has been completely ignored until now. So I am finally happy that it has been brought up. But now they have to defend the number one contendership that didn't even matter in the first place that they won, because then another team skipped them. So...
Yeah, and this is what I was saying when Tony Khan was quote-unquote cooking. Like I said, a lot of fans out there are starting to kind of hate the Elite. And this is a way of probably taking that number one contendership spot from the Elite. And I'm sure once that happens, a lot of fans are going to be happy.
Yeah. So after that, we do get finally into the meat slapping match. Keith Lee and Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe chokes out Keith Lee here, and the referee stops it, retaining the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. It was a good match. It was kind of slow, but we expected that. But I didn't expect what happened at the end of the match, Adrian.
No, I did not. I did not expect that. You know, it was a curveball. Samoa Joe is the longest former Ring of Honor television champion, and he relinquished that title at the end of the show because his next goal is to be the AEW World Champion. And to me, I think he will be the next AEW World Champion.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the thing. I would love to see him be the world champion of AEW. I don't think he's the one that beats MJF. I think somebody else will. But I do see that he's going to be a champion at some point for AEW. See, that's the thing about this MJF storyline. It's he's obviously the main character, and there's all these other people out to get him. So that's what this storyline's got going on for itself currently, and I like it.
Yeah, I think, and the reason why I think Samoa Joe is going to get that title away from MJF is because 2024 is right around the corner. MJF, I know a lot of people predicted that MJF's character change, and he's being a little too friendly now to Tony Khan and the Elite. He could have signed a new contract with Samoa Joe relinquishing the title and saying that his next goal is to be the AEW World Champion. Kind of tells me now that it's like, okay, now I don't think MJF has signed a new contract. Now I think Samoa Joe is going to be the new AEW World Champion because MJF might not sign a contract or might not renegotiate with AEW right away. So they're going to take the title away from him before his contract is up. Could they do a Montreal Screwjob on him? Absolutely not. But yeah, this is gonna be a story that we're going to see develop in the coming month and a half, or 2 months technically.
Wait, so do you know when his contract is officially over? I know he kept saying 2024, but is it like March? Is it in January? Do you know?
That I don't know. I do know it has to be January-ish, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say maybe February, probably March. I want to say February, probably.
Just Google it. It ends January 1st, 2024. Shit. Okay.
Well, then there you go.
So
see, that's where I'm like, now I'm thinking Samoa Joe could take that title away from him, then really have the negotiation, the bidding war of 2024 for MJF, and then bam. Somebody got to get that signature, whether it's Paul Levesque or Tony Khan.
You know who I do think is 100% going to the WWE?
Who?
Will Ospreay, bro. I can fucking put money on it that he's going to go to the WWE.
Oh, that would be amazing, bro. Best believe your boy is going to be right there on social media, trolling the marks.
Bro, first of all,
trolling the marks who complain about Will Ospreay's wrestling.
Who complains about Will Ospreay?
All the marks on, bro, you don't bro, you have too.
I've complained.
All he does is just flips. No real wrestling.
When the fuck did I say that, bro?
That's what all the marks say. So you're going to pretend like you don't hear the marks on social media. You act like you don't see those comments, bro.
I remember when Will Ospreay was fighting Ricochet, he was doing a shit ton of flips. He has completely changed his style.
Yeah, that was I think Vader and some other guy were complaining about that match.
Yeah, that one was like completely flip floppy.
But yeah,
gymnastics. Yeah.
But the WWE marks mainly complain about anything that happens in AEW, and they complain about everybody. I mean, there's marks online who are saying, "Oh, I'm just going to troll the AEW fans by promoting CM Punk arriving just to troll them," and they're going to do the same. But best believe your boy's going to be right there on social media.
Wow. Well, that would be really crazy for Will Ospreay to sign in WWE. I feel like he has to. AEW has, at this point, other than create a bigger name for him, but see, the wrestling fans already knew him. I guess it just drew some more eyes for him, but
do WWE fans know him as a wrestler, or they just want to talk shit?
I don't know. That's a good question, dude. But either way, I know he's going to the WWE because there's only so much he can do in AEW that he hasn't done already. I mean, besides be the champion, that doesn't mean as much as it would be signing a contract with WWE. I feel like if he were to sign with WWE, he would be like when AJ Styles first went to WWE. He'd be like that fucking crazy of a signing.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
But moving on, we do get the Ass Boys versus the Bollywood Boys in the Battle of the Boys. And I mean, honestly, this is a squash match. Ass Boys win with the 310 to Yuma. After this, we get a post-match promo with Juice Robinson and Jay White, the cardboard cutout. Colton essentially challenges MJF for the Ring of Honor tag team titles because a real tag team needs to be holding the Ring of Honor tag team titles. So they're going to try to find a partner for MJF for Full Gear because the Bullet Club Gold, they want all the gold, including that World Heavyweight Championship and the Ring of Honor tag team titles. So Adrian, what do you got to say about this?
It was pretty much the same thing they said last week. They want to become the Ring of Honor tag team champions. They went more into depth in this one. They said that they've only been around for 3 years combined. They already became the AEW tag team champions, and they want to become the Ring of Honor tag team champions. And they want to do it at MJF's expense, whether it's a 2v1 or a 2v2. MJF still doesn't have a partner with him. So, I mean, the Ass Boys delivered a great promo. Yeah, they got booed. But yeah, I mean, you can't deny the Ass Boys are good wrestlers. They are good wrestlers, and they could be the future of the business, of the tag team division.
I'm a big fan of them. And this is the other thing, is just the reliance on MJF on every aspect of Dynamite. So he's going to be having 2 matches on this pay-per-view again at Full Gear.
Hey, Tony Khan is listening to you, bro. Remember that day you were like, oh, 200 fans, let's stop watching because of MJF?
I did fucking say that.
Tony Khan listen to you, bro.
So he's like, I'm going to have him on. He's getting the Judgment Day treatment where he's just like, he's going to be on every fucking segment, the entire fucking show. Damn. Remember that? It was that episode of Judgment Day when they were like, a match would end, they'd have a promo.
Shit.
Then they'd come back from a commercial, have a promo.
Yes.
They'd have 2 matches, and then before they went to commercial, there was a fucking another promo. That's essentially what this fucking whole show of Dynamite is now, because right after this mentioning of MJF, Jon Moxley and Wheeler Useless, they do their promo, pretty much talking about how they're gonna take out Orange Cassidy, and now fucking Wheeler Yuta's gonna take on Hook.
Probably in the pre-show, right? I don't think they announced it, but it's most likely gonna be on the pre-show.
It's gotta be on the pre-show, because honestly, Wheeler Yuta, if he wins the FTW championship from Hook, I don't know what I'm gonna do, bro. I'm gonna go out and buy that Wheeler Yuta AEW Blood and Guts fucking action figure. I'm gonna go get it signed, bro, because I just can't. I can't stand that guy. He's just so. Nothing against him. It's just the character, the lack of character, the fact that he is on TV and other people aren't, just irks me. And then after that commercial break, we get Wardlow cutting a promo about his potential being wasted and that it's all MJF's fault. So once again being mentioned here, MJF in this Wardlow promo. Adrian, what do you got to say?
MJF has made a lot of enemies throughout his short career in AEW. Like I said, 2024 is coming around. It's right around the corner, and everybody wants to get their matches in with MJF, the top dog. The things are lining up. The stars are lining up, and MJF could potentially sign with WWE come January 2nd, 2024. Who knows? But I don't know, man. We just gotta tune in to both shows and see what happens.
You know, it's like one of those things when you think about it, because we just talked about his contract being over January 1st. So he's feuding with Jay White. He's feuding with Samoa Joe. He's got the whole thing with Roderick Strong and Adam Cole, the mystery man under the mask, and Wardlow. So he's either going to be extremely busy or they're just going to write him out. Or maybe he's signed and then they're going to take him out. He's going to go on break for like 4 months and then come back. Who fucking knows? But what I do know is that we had Julia Hart versus Red Velvet after that promo. Julia Hart wins with a moonsault. And then Sky Blue comes down and makes a save at the end of this match. So we're probably going to see them against each other at Full Gear.
Yeah, I think so too. Julia Hart got an enormous pop when she arrived. Red Velvet is one that has not been on TV for 4, 5, maybe 6, 7 months?
Someone online said that she was injured.
Okay, probably, yeah. So I'm glad she's back. I didn't know where she was, but it was a good match. I did see she did get a little pop from the fans, but, she's still doing her thing.
And after that match, we do get Switchblade Jay White versus Mark Briscoe in the main event of AEW Dynamite. Jay White wins with the Blade Runner. The crowd was fully behind Mark Briscoe. Was he injured or was he just on Ring of Honor?
He was injured.
Okay, so a lot of people come back from injury here. A lot of people leaving on injury. Adam Cole, Roderick Strong is kayfabe injured, but then there's Bryan Danielson who's actually legit injured.
Hey, what's a kayfabe injury, bro? I've seen one of our fans doesn't know what kayfabe means. And I was like, I don't know how to explain it to him because I'm like, bro, you could just Google it.
It's a storyline injury. He's not actually injured. He's just injured in the story.
Oh, okay. So basically, like Cody Rhodes' pec and Seth Rollins' back. Those are real injuries, right?
No, not Seth Rollins. Well, Seth Rollins' back is not a real injury, but even though it is, it's a kayfabe injury. But he's got a fucked up back supposedly in real life.
Yeah, because I could tell you, but it's like you can also Google it.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people online are weird, dude. Wrestling's still real to me, just so you know. After this match, MJF comes out to try to get his belt back, but Bullet Club Gold end up retreating. He lays down a promo and then lets everybody know that he's their scumbag. Then the camera, the Titantron, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the video screen shows that the Acclaimed are getting jumped by some guys wearing black masks. One of them, it looks like he's wearing a neck brace. And then it shows that masked man. So MJF takes off running back there and is shown being visibly upset. And Samoa Joe coming up to him and be like, looks like you're running out of friends. So it's kind of clear that Samoa Joe's going to end up having to be his tag team partner in exchange for a title shot.
Yeah, it looks like it. But damn, man, I did not see that ass kicking coming, bro. That was a mugging. That was a beatdown. Anthony Bowens went through the window. That's the only thing I can say. Like, who could it be? I know, like you said, it could be Roderick Strong. You did see a neck brace. I I could say it's leaning towards the Kingdom and Roderick Strong's. And MJF, I like how they did that whole where MJF was in the ring, then he physically went from the ring to the backstage, eliminating MJF as a culprit. That was good play. But yeah, I think I'm with you. I think it's Roderick Strong in the Kingdom. But there was 4 men attacking, and the guy in the mask, that's 5. So we're missing 2 people.
You're right. I don't know. We'll find out eventually.
Any guesses?
Nah, no guesses here. I do want to give props to the AEW production crew and the cameramen. That was a good chase following MJF. And I know that chase is extremely hard to do. Well, besides following MJF, you also have to make sure that the TV audience doesn't see a 3/4 empty arena. So, congrats to, and we appreciate you, AEW production team, for your skills in a quarter of an arena being filled and doing your best to not let us know, even though it's clear that you're hiding something.
How do you know, bro? There's a tarp. How do you know they're hiding something, bro?
Because they only showed one part of the crowd the entire night. That's why.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, so let us know what you guys thought about this episode of AEW Dynamite in the comments section. Message us, slide in our DMs. We want to know what you think. There is one thing I want to talk about before we get into our talk of WWE Raw, Adrian. So, in the past couple of days, we realized that we found out that NXT is going to the CW network, which was where NWA was supposed to be going. Billy Corgan went on today and insisted that NWA still has 2 TV deals with a top 20 network to sign for, even though CW said that they weren't going to sign them. So they still have options.
Yeah, he did say before they quote unquote signed with the CW, they said, oh yeah, we got like up to 20 TV deals from all these networks. And a lot of people said, no, that's bullshit. But when he announced it was going to be the CW, a lot of people were quiet. But then after that spot they did, and you know the spot I'm talking about?
Yeah, the little, powder.
Little powder, yes.
Tony Khan's weakness, alleged.
Yeah, and me seeing that spot on TV, and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? And me thinking, I'm just like, okay, they're just fooling around, and me not thinking, oh yeah, they got a TV deal, this could jeopardize it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Go online, and then people are just talking about it. I'm like, oh, yup, they fucked up their TV deal. But if they have something lined up for them, that's cool for them. Because let me tell you, watching the NWA Power on YouTube, it's not it. It's not it. Like, some of the matches are great, but just there's no crowd reaction. There's no nothing.
Well, it's like filmed like a studio. It's like a studio show, like the old school studio shows.
But pre-pandemic era, they at least had like 300 fans, 200 fans in literally one section.
Yeah, I mean that's like how AEW is right now.
Pa-pow. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it's not it. I mean, they have one of the guys from the Icy Clowns, or what are they called?
Insane Clown Posse.
Insane Clown Posse having a beef with Vampiro, another up-and-comer in the business.
And then Alex Hammerstone just asked for his release too. Did you see that?
Yeah, from MLW. Yeah, he got, and so did Finn Juice also too from MLW.
Oh, Juicy Finale, you're right.
Juicy Finale. Yes,
he's been wrestling in AAA lately.
Yeah, I seen his one of his matches on Twitter the other day. That shit was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we get to see him quite frequently. We're actually blessed to be in the West Coast here. They got their Oasis Pro down there in the Bay Area, a couple hours away.
And before we talk about our Raw review, I want to put a good friend of the podcast, good friend of Triggered Wrestling, Big Ugly from Ugly Dojo. He recently just started his school. What was it, yesterday, correct?
Yeah, he just recently restarted his school, Ugly Dojo. I want to say he was in charge of SPW before. We got an interview with him coming out pretty soon.
His son, Titus Alexander, a Sacramento native, really up and comer. He's going to be in Japan. He's going to be going to Japan. I think he might get a match at Wrestle Kingdom. That'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah, he just had a match with John Moxley not too long ago. JD Bishop is his name, Ugly Dojo, Big Ugly. He trained John Morrison, Timothy Thatcher. He trained JR Kratos,
Junior Kratos,
Kratos that wrestles at the previously mentioned NWA. Christina Von Eerie, she used to wrestle in TNA and Impact. Virgil Flynn, who sadly passed away, he wrestled in Global Force Wrestling, was one of like the original wrestlers in Global Force Wrestling that Jeff Jarrett started. So yeah, quite a lot of people he's been training, so that's pretty dope. And we'll put that out in that interview out there pretty soon.
Yeah, so if we have any listeners here in the Northern Sacramento area, shoot them an email at rumors61@hotmail.com. His school already started. It's going to be a long way before if you guys are amateurs and want to get into the business, it's going to be a long way before you guys get your first match. But it's always just go, show up. You'll learn a thing or two. Obviously, you're not going to see results right away. But the thing about wrestling, and you want to get in the wrestling business, you have to stick it through, and you're going to make it. As long as you stick through, you're going to make it somehow in the business.
Yep. Speaking about people that made it into the business, bro, let's get into Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins comes out and says that he has someone to thank for still being champion, and that person is none other than Samuel Zayn. I don't know if his first name is Samuel, but his name is Sami Zayn for sure, and he pretty much thanks him because he saved his ass at a Crown Jewel.
Yeah, he said that he wasn't at 100% there, and he's not at 100% now, and that he was thankful for Sami Zayn stopping Damian Priest from cashing in. He thought Judgment Day was going to interfere in this match with Drew McIntyre, but they didn't. I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah. But he does offer Sami Zayn a title shot. Sami Zayn tries to deny it, says he wants it when he's 100% ready. But apparently that happens at the main event. So there is that.
Yeah, I mean, predictable main event. Seth Rollins is not going to lose, especially when he's not at 100%. Yeah.
They're giving that guy the Orange Cassidy fucking push here when he's injured every match and barely makes it through.
Oh, so WWE's copying AEW now?
Yeah, bro. You gotta copy shit that works at other companies sometimes. Just like taking their talent from 20 years ago. Oh, man. But then we do get Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus the new Judgment Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. This is I like this tag team match a lot, actually. Judgment Day do win with the coup de grace from Finn Balor on Xavier Woods. It's nice to see actual tag team matches on WWE TV now.
Yeah, yes, when they're done right. I don't know, just the New Day, they're not the same.
They're not the same without Big E, no. And they're kind of, it's the same shit for 7 years. They got to change it up. And it's not the same without Big E. Yeah, all the above.
Yeah, and it's the New Day, the trios, they were great. They did their thing, but the heart and soul of that tag team was Big E and Kofi Kingston. I don't see Xavier Woods doing anything by himself or with Kofi. Nothing against Xavier Woods, but we all know Big E and Kofi Kingston were a big part of that success. Again, nothing to take away from Xavier Woods. He did beat LA Knight twice. Somehow LA Knight got a title shot. I have no idea why, but hey, hold on. Let me read you something that some guy on the internet, some guy that used to be on the business and thinks he's relative still, said about the New Day. I don't know if you agree with this or not. Vince Russo said, "Get rid of the New Day, please. I agree their peak is long since past. They're still a legendary team, and it would take 5 minutes of booking to have them back in the picture of relevance. Just look at their run in NXT. But also, baseball players don't play baseball for 25 years. And Vince Russo is kind of saying to get rid of the New Day, pretty much. They reached their peak, and he doesn't think that they're gonna do anything else besides just job and get lost in the shuffle. Me, personally, I don't agree with this because Big E might return, and if he does return, he can still be like a managerial to the New Day. They can get back into the title picture somehow, He
needs to be back there, even if he's unable to wrestle, to just be there with them. Him talking would add so much to the team, but Vince Russo has been out of business for so long, it's like, can you please stop? Just please.
Yeah.
You gotta realize this is a business on top of just being wrestling. Like, they move a shit ton of merch for little kids still.
Yeah, they do. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't agree with this guy whatsoever. Yes, I agree that they reached their peak, but it's like, if they had Big E back, whether it's a managerial or just a supportive guy, New Day's back on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So after that, we get Drew McIntyre, footage from earlier from Drew McIntyre refusing an interview and then leaving the arena earlier today. So why even show up? He just left. He dipped.
Yeah, it's like pretty much like me. Like, I turn on Raw and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I'm watching this shit show today.
Fuck you. It reminds me. Remember when we were clowning on AEW for Jungle Boy? When how he would show up and then they'd just dip. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. That's what this was.
Why go from Crown Jewel to this arena just to show up for 2 seconds elite.
Yeah, it makes no sense. So, especially, I'm sure you knew people were going to ask you questions storyline wise, right? It's just ridiculous. Oh man, but we finally do get to. Speaking of ridiculous, we finally do get to see Akira Tozawa versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Akira Tozawa actually does get some offense in. It's a glorified squash match. Shinsuke Nakamura wins. No surprise there.
Yeah, it was actually a minute longer than I thought it was going to last. I mean, if this is what's going to lead Shinsuke to a CM Punk match, I don't know. I mean, what can you say about a squash match that didn't need to be on the show? What can you say about a guy that wrestled for the World Heavyweight Champion not too long ago and is now fighting two jobbers back to back? I don't know.
All right, so after that crazy little match here, we get a promo from Adam Pearce talking about Gunther's Intercontinental Championship reign, and they're going to have a 4-way number 1 contenders match between The Miz, Bronson Reed, Ivar, and Ricochet. He lets everybody know as to why they're going to be in the match. So that's a good little quick explanation there.
Yeah. Random as fuck.
A little bit. But it's different than just putting in the match. There's some explanation there, at least some...
Yeah, I mean, Miz, Jobber of the Year, hasn't done anything in the past, literally 2023, 2023, gets added in the match for some reason. Bronson Reed, he had
for some reason, he explained it to you, brother.
For what? Because he's the Intercontinental Champion, what, 2 years ago? He deserves a match now? Come on, bro. He's a jobber for the whole... He's literally the jobber of the year, bro. Yeah. Bronson Reed had a good match with Gunther. Okay, I understand that one. Ivar had a victory over Kofi Kingston a month ago, so he should get a match. Huh? Ricochet's been on a good run. He had matches with Shinsuke Nakamura, Dominic Mysterio. He lost.
He did.
But he gets rewarded a potential title shot? Huh? This makes no sense, my guy.
But at least they tried explaining it. So that's all I gotta say. There was a spot where Ricochet looks like he hits the back of his head on that little flip thing that he kind of does.
Yeah.
Hits the back of his head, and then from there you kind of tell like the match kind of goes.
Yeah, they springboarded him from the ropes to like a suplex or something.
Yeah. He was like laying on the ropes on his stomach. They slingshotted him. Ivar was supposed to catch him, but he hits the back of his head on the ground.
That catch, I popped for that catch. To be honest, I kind of tried to slow down that spot, and I didn't think it was that bad. Which is why he still continued in the match. If it was that serious, I think they would have taken him to the back. They would have put up the X sign. I don't think it was that bad, but I mean, I'm gonna assume he got a little hurt.
Yeah, you get hit in the back of the head, you kind of get foggy a little bit. He seemed to recover relatively quickly, and I think that's why it wasn't too much concern. Like, if somebody's down, and then you can, when John Moxley was down, you could tell he was down.
Yeah, he was down, yeah.
When Rey Mysterio hit the back of his head on...
Santos Escobar?
Yeah, it was a Tope Suicida. His back of his head was bounced. Like, that looked bad.
Yeah.
He couldn't continue. But Ricochet, he pretty much shook it off, but you could tell something was off. And everybody's talking about the ending here, but I don't know how it's supposed to go, who was supposed to win, but we do know that The Miz wins, becoming the number 1 contender for the W Intercontinental Championship. After the match, Ivar attacks The Miz and beats him up. So we're going to have them fight each other next Raw, and whoever wins that match will be the number 1 contender.
This is a repetitive storyline from Sheamus and Drew McIntyre when they were going to go up against Gunther at WrestleMania. They had a Fatal 4-Way. They both pinned their opponents. They both were like, oh, you're number 1 contender. No, you're number 1 contender. Yeah. Oh, let's settle this next week. They just went straight to the point. Yeah, what's up?
To be fair, we don't know how that was supposed to end in this way, because was it supposed to be a double pin? We don't know.
It was supposed to be a double pin, bro.
Who's your source?
My source is the repetitive storylines from WWE constantly.
Stop, bro. I need a source, and your source can't be trust me, bro.
So why are they gonna have a one-on-one next week for the number 1 contendership?
Because he beat up The Miz after the match.
Okay, so just because you beat me up, I should put my number 1 contendership on the line against you? Bro, you lost.
So what I think...
You shouldn't get nothing.
This is the thing, is that, let's say they were both supposed to win, right? Then that means, in that case, so how's Ivar going to be added to the match at Survivor Series then?
I don't think he is. I just think they were going to have Miz and Ivar next week for the real number 1 contendership, and then that one will settle the match.
Big brain booking over here. See, that makes sense.
Yeah, they just basically They could have just had Miz up against Gunther, but they're like, nah, that wasn't the ending. Let's just have them again next week, and then have them face off for the real number one contendership. And the actual seal of approval of shit that's actually going to happen, Miz is going to come out victorious, and is going to go off to face Gunther. Exactly the way it's supposed to happen. Or they might do the same thing as they did before WrestleMania. Imperium is going to come and interfere. The general manager is going to come out and say, oh, you guys want to do this? Okay, now Gunther's going to go up against both of them. I could see another repetitive storyline here, but let me guess. No barking when it comes to this company, huh?
Wow. We don't know what's going to happen, first of all. So we can only, if it happens, we'll talk about it next week. Moving on, we get DIY versus the Creed brothers here. Both of these teams are relatively new, right? Julius Creed and Brutus.
Yes.
From NXT. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa just came up and started teaming again. It's very uncertain who's going to win this. The Creed brothers end up winning with that cannonball doomsday device looking thing.
I still don't like that.
I don't like it. No, I get it. It's something different we've never seen before, but I don't like it.
But I don't know. I was watching some old YouTube clips of Joey Gargano wrestling because I wanted to catch up on his wrestling because I never really seen him actual wrestle. But I saw some of his NXT matches and the man was great. Same with Tommaso Ciampa, and I did not see that with him in this match. I mainly saw the Creed brothers, but again, that spot, that their finisher, I'm not with that. You just need either another finisher or just make this one more devastating or something.
We haven't seen anybody with the angle slam as a finisher, but the thing is that they're a tag team. There's got to be a way to incorporate that into it, I think.
Whatever happened to Indus Sher?
You know what? They're still coming.
Didn't they come already? Pause. Didn't they show up already?
They did, and then they're gone again. Bro, I don't understand what's going on here. It makes no sense.
It sucks because you know me, bro, and you've clowned me on this. I like
Jinder Mahal.
I like Jinder Mahal. He was a great champion. Mind you, he was a paper champion because they had that tour in India, but he was still a great champion. The promos were great. His song was a banger of a song. I miss Jinder Mahal, bro.
He did have a really good underrated championship reign, and it was like a throwback to the 80s where there was a foreign, like Hulk Hogan, right? He was a foreign champion. The Iron Sheik, Vladimir Kozlov. I mean, I don't know if him, but there was like a Russian guy that he was chasing, the Iron Sheik, and then also Sergeant Slaughter, right? When Sergeant Slaughter was teaming up with General Adnan. He was a perfect fucking heel.
Yeah, foreigner heel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So after this, we get the WWE Women's World Championship number one contender battle royale. The women start doing everything you could imagine here. Everybody except for Nikki Cross, who just was standing in the middle.
Her controller ran out of battery, bro. Her shit was disconnected.
Yeah. So Zoe Stark wins. I did not expect that. I expected Shayna Baszler, especially since she was like the last two. But Zoe Stark wins, becoming the number one contender for Rhea Ripley's title here at Survivor Series. We'll see what happens with that. She's gonna lose.
Yeah, but also the announcers thanked Xia Li for eliminating Becky Lynch from this tournament, which led to Zoe Starks winning the match. But I thought she had a feud with Nia Jax. Did they end that already?
Xia Li?
No, Zoe Starks. Or was it Shayna Baszler? Either way, they ended that feud already, right?
I don't know who you're talking about. I know Xia Li was feuding with Becky Lynch and said she was going to take her out when she at least expected it, and this was it.
No, I'm saying Shayna Baszler or Zoe Starks. One of them had a feud with Nia Jax, right? Isn't that how they got added to the Fatal 5-Way at Crown Jewel?
Who knows, dude? I think they're all just fucking up each other at that point.
Random ass matches, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Then we get to the main event here. Seth Rollins was not going to lose in this main event. At the end, we do get to see Judgment Day try to stick their meddling hands in here. Cody Rhodes comes out to make a save. So does Jey Uso. And this is where Adam Pearce has had enough. He gets on the mic. He says if the 8 of them want to play games, they'll play games. War games at Survivor Series in Chicago. We already knew that it was going to be war games, but this is just confirming it.
So it's like, after let's say 8 months of Judgment Day doing the same thing over and 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 over. You finally had enough, my guy? Come on, bro. Make it make sense. But I don't know why. Adam Pearce saying War Games was corny as fuck. I was actually expecting William Regal to come out.
Oh.
Imagine that pop of Regal coming out to that. That would have been a great FU to the other side AEW. It would have been better. But Adam Pearce just made it corny to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, I just want to say William Regal, when he signed with AEW, he didn't sign to be on TV. They eventually pushed him to be on TV. So I don't think he wants to be on TV anymore, at least on the main roster. Maybe in NXT, but Shawn Michaels are running that joint now. So I just think he's just a backstage guy. He doesn't want to be on screen.
I still think it would have been better though. But that's just me. I think Pierce was just corny. He took off his glasses. War Games. I'm like, oh. Hey, at least Paula Beck should have come out. That would have been dope. And I hate that dude.
Man, so I mean, you guys let us know what you guys thought about Monday Night Raw. Where do you guys see the storyline heading? Is CM Punk going to make his return and re-debut in WWE at Survivor Series, or is it going to be Randy Orton? What is going to happen? You let us know in the comments. Message us at Triggered Wrestling.
Or before you guys do that too, let us know if they might add a 5th person to this War Games match. Because this right now is 4-on-4, correct?
Yeah, right now it's 4-on-4. I want to say...
Is it typically a 5-on-5 or has it just always been 4-on-4?
You know, there has been a 4-on-4 one. There has been a 5-on-5 one. And there's been 3 versus 3 versus 3 before. So there's a lot of different things here. But yeah, don't forget to give us a follow here on El YouTubo. All right, well, thank you very much for taking your time to listen to us talk nonsense here on Triggered Wrestling. Thank you so much. But most importantly, stay triggered.
Bang, bang.